All right, maybe everybody else will catch up. This phone is typically better than that one, so we'll see. I'll give it a second for everybody to jump back in and shit. Hopefully it's not freezing. This phone is typically better than that one. So. Yeah, hopefully this one don't freeze up like that other piece. Hey, I'm gonna tell y'all who that other phone is. I just look, just snitching. I just said earlier too. I said, you know what? What I'm about to do next month is I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of my Sprint phone. Not necessarily get rid of it. I'm gonna make that call in the morning. And excuse me. Actually, I save money so I can merge the line and save like $80 a month. So I'm gonna do that because Sprint is terrible. Sprint don't pick up calls nowhere. Sprint, I don't know. That they got me with the unlimited deal. Now I got unlimited with Verizon, so it doesn't make sense. But yeah, you know, back to that kid, man. Before I froze up, man. Everybody in this community, we need to rethink shit. And the more I heard about it, y'all don't understand. Like I got about 50 messages saying, ban Devin, he's too much. Ban Devin. This is all I heard, right? And y'all remember the first night I interviewed him, you know, and I tried to encourage the guy. Because I had never, Bobby and everybody had sent me the videos of him, and really I didn't watch him. I watched a little bit and I'm like, okay, this kid is a madman. And the night I did the thing and I was talking about him and stuff, you know, I was like, man, this guy sort of, he out there, you know. He surprised me, man, because when he came on that night, he was, you know, earlier he was with his shirt off and he was talking crazy. And then when he jumped in and he wanted to jump in on my broadcast, it became something totally different. You know, he had his little shirt on, had his hair slicked back, and he was trying to talk and he was telling his story. And I immediately picked up on that, hey, this guy might need a little, you know, a little reassurance instead of me going ahead and telling him, okay, you get rid of all your dogs, you know. He didn't come off to me as somebody who don't give two shits about his dog. He's trying to learn. He's actually trying to pick up on traits and stuff. But y'all have to give the kid a break, man. You know, he needs a break on this one. And just keep on trying to give him information. And hopefully it clicks in. It seems like he picks up certain information anyway, you know. Yeah, he doesn't want bullies. He's got game dogs. And we know. So, but, I mean, try to help the guy out, man. Because honestly, he needs it, you know. He needs it. I'm gonna tell y'all this now, and this is something that me and Bobby actually had to talk about, and this is why I wasn't gonna kick that guy off the page or nothing like that, because I just didn't see the point of it. But this is something I say, and this is something for y'all to think about. And of course, I'm gonna go to some of my favorite people here. But it was more outrage, and there's more people that talk shit about this guy right here. This kid who obviously has, you know, a little bit of something going on, you know, mentally or whatever. But y'all don't have the outrage for these guys who are open puppy mills. For these guys who get caught with all these dogs piled up into little cages. For these guys who get caught doing all kind of bullshit. For these guys who run around and brag about how much money they make off of the dogs, and they do anything with the dogs. You see that some of their productions and the shits is train wrecks and unhealthy, and that's strange to me. It's not just strange. It's almost like it's fucked up. Honestly, it's honestly fucked up that we are at that point that these people universally get a pass. And yes, I'm on here looking for my own video. But these people universally get a pass for their fucked up behavior, but we cast judgment on a kid who should be getting a pass in a lot of ways. It's an amazing thing, you know. when you talk about a kid who might possibly be autistic and have a couple things going on, or he might just be a little bit one way or the other, that he's got some things going on, it's funny to me that y'all would be in outrage and ready to set up a protest, and we got women whipping their titties out while breastfeeding and still pissed off at the guy and calling the police on the guy and offering him money to get his address. I've heard all these nasty things, and to me, at the end of the day, it's insane, because I didn't see this same type of energy and this same type of bullshit when Bashar went out there and claimed that he had 6,000 dogs worldwide, or when they caught this dude and all of his cages was full of shit and piss. I didn't see the same outrage. This is a man who don't have those mental problems. This is a guy who don't deserve a break. But where was all of the energy at when this guy came into this breed and said, I don't give a fuck about these dogs. This is all about money to me. See, I talked about it and people agreed with me, but there was no outrage. I think that y'all energy sometimes is misdirected. Our breed is not being destroyed by people like Devin. Our breed is being destroyed by greedy motherfuckers who know better. That kid ain't trying to make a bunch of money off no dogs. He loves dogs, and unfortunately, he just might not have the total capacity to take care of them. But I can tell that kid's heart is there. He don't have shit, but he has his dogs. And I just saw a whole community that was ready to just go buck wild crazy on this kid about him not being able to take care of his dogs the proper way. But then Bashar ain't the only one. Khan is another one. All these guys that really run through the game and do a bunch of fucked up shit, brag about how much money they have, own hundreds of dogs, as Bashar claims to own thousands, literally 6,000 is what he said, which he's probably lying, but whatever the case may be. Bashar has been on the record where they talked about him stacking dogs, 4 dogs to a cage, and this and that and the other, and yada, 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 on and on and on. But it's no outrage. It's no outrage about that at all. Y'all not outraged when y'all see dogs damn near about to pass out in the ring. Y'all ain't got no outrage when we obviously know that a lot of these bitches is being bred on their first heat, which is very, very unhealthy and unethical. So what I really want to see is a change of energy. Let's not pick on the damn on the damn sheeps all the time. Let's go after some of these wolves, because to be honest, our dog world as we know it and the part that we love has not been destroyed by a Devin. Our dog world has been destroyed like people like Bashar and people like Dave who enable people like Bashar. I put James Cooper in that same category since he has a lot to say all of a sudden. What are you going to do? Rachel Ogletree, what are you going to do? Like I say, this kid is not the reason that our breed is fucked up. This kid is not the reason that our breed is fucked up at all. And I'm still trying to find my own post. But at the end of the day, then I click on the post and I see the girl with her titty out again. Hey, nice titty. Baby, enjoy it. But anyway, these people aren't the reason that our breed is fucked up. A guy like Devin, he's not the reason that our breed is fucked up. That's a kid who, what we say in the hood, he's slow. He's slow, okay? This is a slow kid. He didn't fuck up the American bully game. So I'm telling y'all, if y'all gonna have that kind of energy and y'all gonna go on attack, and I love to see y'all go on attack sometime, because it's like attacks get shit done. But if you're gonna do that, talk about these puppy mill motherfuckers. Talk about these people who go in that ring and embarrass the whole entire breed. Talk about these people who flat out will tell you, I don't care about this breed, this is for money. Talk about a guy who goes on everybody's post, even when it's dead dogs, and posts, breed to my dog, breed to my dog. Talk about guys who do YouTube videos and you go in their garages and they got small cages and it ain't nothing but puppies stacked inside of these cages all over their garage. Nowhere to move, just tiny little cages with puppies in there. And yeah, the puppies might look like they healthy, but they just stuck in a garage with a bunch of cages. Talk about them guys. Talk about them guys. Talk about these guys who brag about how they fly all over the world delivering puppies, and I did this and I did that and I did this and I did that, but then they puppies is dying on these people overseas. they calling other people like Memo and this person and that person and complaining about no, we don't want none of that shit here. You know, complain about the guys who sell dogs for $25,000 and then turn around the dog is dead 10 months later from natural causes and they no longer can answer the phone. Talk about them guys. If you want to talk about what fucked up the American bully, it's not some kid who don't have the total mental capacity to take care of all his dogs, but he's trying. Talk about these motherfuckers that's showing up at shows with expensive cars and talking about what they got out of the game, this, that, and the other, while they dogs look like that I've been riding their backs the whole lives. Talk about these guys who shooting their dogs up with steroids and sending out the wrong semen to other people. Talk about these dogs, about these guys who going in the back room and mixing French bulldogs and English bulldogs and handing over people paperwork who paid top dollar with fake ass pedigrees all over. If you're gonna talk about somebody, talk about these guys. Put your energy into these guys who are intentionally fucking over the community. Don't talk about a kid who shouldn't be really. Y'all picking on him. That's the way I feel. Yeah, I don't like some of the stuff he does. It's a train wreck at times. I mean, honestly, sometimes I see his little video and I just, oh Lord. But at the end of the day, he is not the problem in our community. You know, I've said it, and now I see people saying it, but don't let these people get off the fucking hook. I'm not telling you to go up and punch Dave upside the head. Oh no, please don't do that. But when he opens his mouth, make him accountable for when he opens up his mouth. When he wants to pat himself on the back and talk about how great he is, y'all do what y'all did last time. Ask about why Mr. Beans is a grand champion when it's obvious that this dog is a conformational train wreck. When Rachel wants to open up her mouth and talk about we want a pat on the back for all the great things we're doing to fix the breed, remind her that we've been telling you to fix this shit forever. So now that you saying that you're going to fix it, you want us to pat you on the back when the shit still ain't fixed because this year y'all named a national champion that had a kink tail and looks just like an American bulldog without his ears. And on top of that, he doesn't want to perform half of the time. It has to be drug around. And then when he does perform and Zeb makes a slow motion video of the son of a bitch, you can see every flaw in his motion. You can see the high rear, the slope in his back. You can see all this bullshit. But that's y'all national champion for Europe. And then you want to brag, Dave Wilson, about you going to Europe and how great you make in Europe. But this is what you represented in Europe. And then at the same time, let's not forget earlier on in the year when your judge went over there and picked that dog and you damn near had a riot in Ireland because she picked a dog that had a damn U-shaped back. Let's not forget, yeah, so we are going all over the world, but it ain't about where you go. It's about what you do when you go where you go. These are the things that need to be outraged. Props out to them guys over there in Ireland because they gave them the business. The only time in American bully history, this is it. If y'all want a history lesson, this is it. The only time in American bully history that this has ever happened, where the people showed out so bad about what the judge picked that the show host, the same guy who owns Demon Boy, I do believe, went and pulled the whole entire class. Them boys showed out so bad they damn near had a riot in that bitch. They had to take the whole class away just to shut the shit down. Like, okay. We don't want no more. Okay, we know we wrong. I'm sorry. See, I like that kind of shit. That's almost like revolution. You know what I mean? That almost make you want to put on your little military hat and feel like you're doing something. See, that's standing up for something. When you see it's an obvious wrong with people who are in control that's trying to fuck over the community. Not some kid somewhere out in the woods that really don't know too much better. Direct the energy to where it's at. Them guys over there in Ireland, shut them down. That's the way it's supposed to be. When you see that you getting fucked over, shut it down. This is bullshit. You know, basically them guys in the middle of the show took the attitude and said, what the fuck is we here for, man? You picking this bullshit? What the fuck's wrong with you? Oh, but he knows such and such and this is, no, fuck that. Pick the right dog. We'll tear this bitch up. Oh, let's get rid of the whole class, man. We ain't gonna, no, I understand, ain't no, we just gonna wipe that whole class out. Nobody gets points. Yeah. See, the reason that we have so much trouble here is because people here like to straddle that fence. Now I notice a lot of y'all starting to jump off the fence, and I'm so proud of y'all. But a lot of people like to straddle the fence because y'all worried about if y'all say what I say, then y'all got to get back in the ABKC ring. Fuck that. I'm going to tell y'all, I've been doing it for years. and I'm not bragging when I say this, but y'all see all the championships my dogs got. I ain't got a dog that I've ever showed that didn't champ out. I ain't never had a dog that I showed that didn't at least get one championship. And they did it pretty effectively. You know, I didn't have to go and pull, I ain't gonna say no names, but I didn't have to duck and dodge everybody and find the smallest show in the town and go in, oh, let me get my major here. Is it more than 3 dogs here? I ain't never had to do that shit. Because I picked a good dog, I went in there, and I knew the judges didn't like me. Do y'all understand that Castro went to ABKC shows after I was on the DVD, after me and Bobby was doing the bully basement, after all the bullshit I said, after I cussed Dave out, after I did all this shit, Castro was still going to ABKC rings and winning. Damn near every time. I only took him out 3 times, but he won every time. He got at least the best classic every show he went to. Every time. He won his class and he went all the way, beat the female every time he went out. It ain't from kissing ass, it's from bringing a bad dog in there and from staring the judge down and letting the judge know, if you go in here and you pull some bullshit, man, I'm gonna destroy you. I'm gonna let you know. I'm gonna point out every flaw on that dog. Educate yourself as a dog, man, and start questioning these judges. Y'all let people tell y'all whatever y'all want. I mean, whatever they want, and then you come home and you complain about it. No, I'm the kind of guy that I'm not here to fight you, but I'm gonna ask a question. If I see a fucked up dog in the ring, I'm gonna ask the judge right on point. You don't see that dog's feet? You don't see that dog's top line? You don't see that dog's rear? You didn't see that dog's bite? Now, did you see my dog? Because at that point in time, when we get to that point, then it's gonna be on. It's gonna be on right at that point in time. You answer my fucking questions, dude. If you gonna fuck me, tell me you gonna fuck me. You know what I'm saying? Lube up. You know, let's do what we gotta do. But don't just sit here and tell me, oh, you a great person and everything is gonna be all right, because everything's not gonna be all right. Because you trying to fuck me over. So we gonna have a long night and a bunch of damn problems. Oh, let me see. My dude trying to click in, man.
Oh no, there you go. Drew, you there?
Uh-oh. What's up, T?
Oh, nothing much. What's going on, man?
Uh-oh, you let me in, man. Bobby let me in. My phone died, bro. Oh, man. Man, you can't keep telling the truth, man. I told you this almost 3 years ago at Nationals. Quit telling all this truth, man.
I used to get whoopings for lying, man. I used to.
Oh yeah, I think my mama had the same belt your mama had.
Yeah, bad boy.
yeah, it's worldwide, man. Yeah, I see. That's probably why you went to Florida. You was out in Ohio in the Midwest. That belt got too close.
Yeah, it was too many of them. Grandmas and aunts, everybody whooping my ass. I had to get on up out of there, man.
Hey, I ain't mad at you.
You know, I'm just trying to, rile the troops up, and to do the takeover.
Man, yeah, man, it's crazy, man. Bobby was killing the game, man, and I got to chop it up with him a little bit. But I'm gonna pose you one quick question, man. Look at Dave, man, shouting Ohio out. But Terrell, you got the muscles. I mean, literally and figuratively, to make a big move, man. What do you? I know we've talked personally, but what do you really feel, man? Even with your registry coming, it's gonna bring back that environment, bro. Like, honestly.
You know what? I look at this and I, not to make it too dramatic, but I look at it like when you have oppression, opportunity brings back everything,
Right.
And right now, I know personally from talking to a lot of people are just unsatisfied, and a lot of people, instead of feeling like they're a part of something and they have an opportunity to do something that's good for them, and the community, right now they feel as if like they're outsiders. they feel like it's a small clique of people that basically they're fronting the bill for to say that, you know, y'all run everything. And we've always, competition was what drove us. You know what I mean? You would literally, back in the day, that's why I say the mentality has changed so much. We didn't duck people for shows. You know, you would go, like, I mean, I literally at times, man, I went thousands of miles just to get my dog in the ring with somebody. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, literally thousands of miles. They're like, okay, Paco and Hef gonna be there. I'm like, okay, well, Hallie gonna be there. We're gonna get all three of them in the ring, and we're gonna see what happened tonight. And Marco and Bo did the same thing, you know. And then with Denzel, it was the same thing. Denzel has won shows, you know, in multiple states all over, you know, and took his travels, you know, between me and the fellas showing him. So it was never a thing about skipping out and, you know, about skipping out. It was like we wanted to see each other. And my main thing is to go back to really answering your question, is that it's not my registry. You know, as I said about D-Line, as I said about, I feel like that the way you get that environment back is make it something for the people. You know, you always got to listen to what.
Let me interject real quick. Real quick. We got 75 people on here real quick. And man, you know a play on words like I do. You grew up on hip hop.
Yeah.
Where music came from. So I'm gonna ask you this, man. I'm gonna challenge you to say that this is your registry for a couple reasons. One reason, when you say it's your registry, or you head the registry as the face, what happens is, look at my boy Robert Coins, man. He'll get you right. Check him out.
All right.
When you say that this is your registry, what happens is it gives people a place to go. And I think that's one of the bigger things that Woody's done with the ABKC. If you got a problem in the ABKC, because he says the same thing, and like I said, a play on words, it's not my registry, it's our registry. It's got to be somebody's registry, because once I climb the ladder, I have to be able to go somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
And it can't be to this mysterious place, because truth be told, people are going to come to the registry not because of who's in the office, not because who's printing the paper, or who's answering the phones. They coming on the strength of Terrell has been consistent, he's been persistent, and he's been the same person all this time. So I'm going to give it a chance because I believe in who he is and what he say.
Oh, I appreciate that, and I definitely agree with you. You know, I think where I say, you know, I'm going to be accountable. I've made that known to everybody, is that I'm going to be accountable. We not going to have no bullshit. If anything, I'm confident in my judges, but if any judge, basically, I'm going to give credit where credit is due. Oscar Gomez was the one who initially he wrote this part into what we're doing. And that's just a good friend of mine and somebody that I definitely, you know, need to talk to. But Oscar said every judge should be held accountable, you know? So when you have a judge, our judges are going to have to put out there what they picking. We're going to figure out the system, but you have to be held accountable, and you have to, you know, whether it might even be through interviews, you know, we have to, you know, if you make a bad pick, people are going to expose you for it, you know? And then one thing I tell you about it, where it comes into being my registry, is you don't get too many mistakes. So that's just being honest, because I feel like as a judge, you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? So if you go in there and you pick a dog that has a hideous high rear, a kink tail, and you know that this is against our rules, then you just basically said, you know, screw everybody, I'm gonna do what I want. And at that time, going back to what you were saying, that's when people's faith in me has to be personified when they see me kick this judge on up out of there.
Right.
And that's
Steve Jackson. Go ahead.
No, and I was gonna say, and that's something that the ABKC has never done. You have never seen them discipline judges for making bad picks. The same judges that make controversial picks will judge a show the next week, and there's never even anything said about it.
Wow. I mean, I'm playing devil's advocate. People don't know, T. I'm a nobody. out here in Fort Wayne, Indiana, man. But let people know I know we talk, man.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Serious. The man
Yeah,
didn't put in his work. Yeah, he didn't put in his work. Now he teach the
yeah.
kids, so he didn't put in his work.
Steve, was that Steve Jackson wanted to know are you writing a new standard? And somebody else asked, 'cause I know you said you could barely see the comments.
Yeah, I can't
Somebody
see
else, somebody else asked, is Gary Moore the president?
No, Gary Moore is not the president.
Steve, he asked, who's at the head table if you can disclose that, and will there be a new standard written?
Well, I'm gonna tell you the truth. The standard is actually we'll say it's new, but it's actually the old standard. You know,
The original standard.
Yeah, our standard is gonna look a lot more like before they destroyed it. You know, like kink tails are still a disqualification in our registry. The dogs are not allowed. You know, you do get punished no matter which level you're at for a bad bite. We have no, amendments for bad bites or bad feet. We just took all the flaws away. So, it doesn't mean you're kicked out, but your dog will be held accountable for every flaw. The standard will look a lot because, like, certain flaws that now people don't really look at as flaws is like wrinkles. Originally, that was considered a flaw. We taking it back to that. The skin is supposed to be tighter on an American bully. You know that, the golf, having the tennis ball cheek, a tighter pulled dog. So if your dog conformationally is on even kill with another dog, but this dog is a tighter version of your dog, he's gonna win because we're not breeding Shar-Peis, we're breeding bullies. So this is supposed to be, think King Kamali, tight skin, a little more ripped up and well conditioned. That's another thing that people don't like, that the standards now don't hold you accountable for. Your dog should be in condition. If this dog comes in here and he might be 15 pounds lighter than your dog, but he's shredded to the bone, see, with us, he actually gets cool points for being shredded to the bone and coming in there looking like he's, for real, because we've gotten to the point now where everything is how big they are. But, if this cat come in here like he's been working out and doing weight pull and he's shredded up and, and your dog is just big, me personally, and I know John is the same way, we're going to pick the dog that's shredded up because he's coming in with a better physique.
I'll tell you a crazy story, man. First time I ever showed one of my own productions, I drove 12 hours after working 10 hours at a job to Kansas. And Marco Suarez was judging the show. And I had my big boys in the ring. And he said, how's your dog? I said, he's just turned a year. He said, well, I hope y'all both in condition. And he made us go around that ring 5 more times, bro.
Yeah, Marco.
Me, Ty Lumley had one of his dogs in there. Keno was still showing. A couple other people. And it was just a standard class. Yeah. But I'll never forget that. Like, he literally wanted to see us move those dogs.
But, see, because Marco is old school. And John, when, me and John going to do one of these things, maybe we'll get on, I'll figure out a day because, like I said, I don't know what I got going on right now. But in motion, a real judge, and that's what drives me crazy when I watch some of these judges. And I know you've seen this, where they tell the dogs to go around and they don't pay attention while the dogs is going around.
Oh, yeah.
That is the number one sign that the judge does not know what the fuck they are doing. I can tell you like this, Drew. I don't have to see your dog stacked. I don't care about your dog being stacked, honestly. That's you doing something to your dog. It's a cute thing, okay. You can make the dog stand a certain way. I need to see you take that dog around a couple times and watch him move and then watch how he stops. Because that's the truth. I can see the high rear. I can see every flaw. I can see everything. Only thing I need to see after that is to get down at him and look at his eyes and look at his teeth, and maybe check to make sure the dog got 2 testicles. But for the most part.
And that kink. You can't, that's kink.
You know what's funny? A lot of times you can see the kink in the movement.
Oh, yeah, because they flex. When they flex,
they flex. Yeah. You can see it. You can see it. Yeah. They start flexing and that kink come in, That kink come in, you're like, oh, I see something. And you know what to look for immediately. See, it drives me crazy that they don't pay attention to movement. We want to bring all this back to the ring to where everybody, you preparing for what the judge is going to judge your dog on, and you know it. It's not about preference. It's about confirmation.
I got one for you, T. I got one for you. So, Mike, hey, Mike, dog, man, don't crush me. I turned up your last name. And the Sola, Mike. Mike wants to know, are we going to go back to the old measurements for the old standards, the 18 to 21 for males? So we actually get a bigger pocket and a little bit bigger standard, and basically the old school real XL. Are we going back to the old measurements?
Yes, we're going. Yeah, all of the dogs will be slightly bigger. Yeah.
Because so you're going to real bully.
Yeah, real bully. Because I'm going to tell you the truth. Even with the pocket was always screwed up, and I'm going to tell you why the pocket was screwed up. And they caused this shit. They got obsessed with making the dog shorter. You know what I mean? This is the truth of the matter is, if you measure Paco correctly, Paco might have been borderline a standard right now. If you measure him correct, because he was borderline a standard. Little Roe would have definitely been a standard today. And I think that's the main reason why I'm going higher. You know what I mean? And in our breed standard, the cutoff for the pocket, instead of being at 17, is going to be at 18. Because I think that they bred to try to make the dogs too damn small. You know what I mean? And when they did that, they promoted dwarfism traits. They changed that. The dogs used to be, you could have a taller dog, and they got obsessed with make it shorter. And Dave, to his credit, he did try to put a basement on it by making the 14-inch the basement. But the reality of it is think about it. When the pocket was created, it wasn't hardly anybody who was really under 15 inches. And those was considered to be super small dogs. When you had a 15-inch dog, you was doing your thing at 15 inches. You know, now it's not even a DQ if the dog is under 14. It's just a flaw. And for me, it's a DQ.
So what would be your basement on your pocket, since we're going to go back up? Because back then we didn't have. Because I remember did you help write the pocket standard, or was that?
We all jumped in on there, and Easterly really put everything together. My shit was more so like the input on there. I didn't do the actual writing. It was all input. You know, the female standard is actually based off of Hallie.
That's what I thought, because I remember before you went away on vacation.
Yeah,
it was a big hoopla when we were at that Atlanta Nationals.
Yeah,
about who said what. So
you know it. Yeah, that's what happened.
I wasn't in that. I wasn't there. I'm sorry. Okay.
Yeah, it was a bunch of nonsense, but yeah, that's where my input came in on that, and I put a little input in on the XL, because we start talking about the XL. A lot of people don't know it. Hallie's brother, which I owned by way of Dave, Poncho, was the first dog to ever win an XL show. Yeah, when they introduced the XL class, Poncho won the very first XL show. And it was a debate, and the biggest debate about the XL was, how do you keep it from being too Mastiff-like? And that's one of the things in our registry that we're going to watch out for. The XL has gotten a lot of breaks, because a lot of those dogs that they say are XLs are way over the height limit. Some of them dogs...
So we would have to stay away from bloodlines like Treacherous Threat, which is like them huge.
Because ultimately you have to remember, and I don't know if you heard us say this, but ultimately, and John Easterly is a big part of this, and John is heading up. You know, he's gonna have his say so on what the dog should be is actually larger than mine, because he's gonna go into a lot of intricacies. You know. And I give him that respect because John has been judging longer than I have, you know. I was still showing when John was judging, you know. And the truth of the matter is this. Ultimately, in this registry, we'll give a date, and people will know this date way beforehand. But eventually, and that's why you'll notice when the paperwork comes out, it says what is, label your dog, of your expectations of what your dog should be, you know. And it's going to say pocket, standard, or whatever, you know. and you have a chance to amend that later on. If you don't think, if your dog didn't hit that, you can send in an amendment paper to put your dog in the class. Now, you should anyway once you start showing, because it has to go in there anyway, so it needs to be amended. But after a certain amount of time, and it won't be very, very soon, you probably have 5, 6, maybe even 7 years. You'll also notice on the paperwork, it doesn't say pocket class. It says pocket. The reason being is after those years go by, only pockets will be allowed to be bred to pocket. Only standards.
Yep, there you go. Somebody had just asked that question. Say it again. I'm sorry.
Yeah. After this time span, we're gonna put a moratorium on it because we know that people have work to do. But only pockets to pocket, standard to standard, XL to XL. They will no longer be considered classes. And in this breed right now, we don't consider them classes. We are considering them breeds. You'll notice on our website that it says breeds, the pocket breed, the standard breed, because eventually it has to change to where you can't breed a 14-inch dog to a 28-inch dog.
Now, let me ask you this, T. Let me ask you this. Because the stud book is still open, and I'm assuming, I'm just being devil's advocate, I'm assuming since the stud book is open, are we now, since we're calling it a breed and not a class, are we now establishing these dogs to stop mixing, period?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Some people won't understand what you're saying when you're saying only do it, because some people, that's why everybody, and you hear it all the time, and this is for everybody that's listening. I'm one of the people, tell me if I'm wrong, T, that I don't believe everybody should breed for what they look, their look.
No,
I think because when I did Rottweilers, you breed to be more conformational, correct? You breed to be the best athlete. You can breed to be better what that dog already is, but you can't breed for your look. That means you have another breed.
That means you have another breed. And what I would tell people is think poodles. You know, how you have 3 different sizes in the poodles, and they're all their own breeds. You know what I mean? And that's where we're trying to go with this, is that we are trying to eliminate a lot of things just to perfect our dogs. That's all it is. It's not a thing to make it harder on you or nothing like that, but we have to graduate as a breed to the point that we're taken seriously. Right now, y'all have to see, nobody ever thinks about it like this, but I'm going to tell you, this is what we do now. This is what an American bully is. It's anywhere from 12 to 13 inches at the bottom, all the way up to 30 inches at the top. Minimum weight can be in the 40 pounds, all the way up to 120, 130 pounds. That's not a breed. That's a fun show. We have to get to a point where we get back to basically bottom line. What we have to do is we have to basically just get everything down to the point that we can do this thing the right way, you know, and we know exactly what we're breeding for. Right now, I don't care who you are in this American bully community. You can tell as many stories as you want to tell. None of us actually know exactly what we're breeding for unless you've had a program for a few years. And because if you're going by just the American bully, we'll take pictures at nationals of everything. I can show you 25 different breeds. That's no way that we can be successful like that. When you think of a German Shepherd, you know what a German Shepherd is. When you see a German Shepherd in the street, you be like, oh, look at that Shepherd. When you see a Rottweiler, you be like, look at that Rottweiler. At the end of the day, you have to be able to know what you breed. If you don't know what you're breeding, it's all bad. I still can't see no messages.
I got you. So, Mike Pope's 2 + 2 = 4, common sense. Yeah. Everybody show love. Now let me ask you this one. Let me see. Agree with Dave. Dave Dalton. He think he from Ohio. He from Ohio, so he got to be showing you love.
Hey, OHIO, baby, Saturday. you know, Buckeyes gonna talk some shit.
Oh yeah. Let me ask you this. I know we got to get our look. I'm already included. I know you got to get the registry up and going. But as far as Bobby said this early on the other feed, the way the ABKC came in and literally just basically anybody in the way got consumed by the movement. And he talked about how this is like the last hurrah for a lot of the OGs. Are you looking for or are you open to collaboration? Not even collaboration, but bringing other smaller registries that really don't get a lot of notoriety under your wing and bringing them along because they do have a following or they do have some stuff, but they need somebody to come in and help them take them to the next level. Registries like that.
I'm gonna tell you
Go
what,
ahead.
like we are open, and this is some of the things that we've been doing already behind the scenes. We've already starting to establish, and we very much in the premature stage of this, but we're trying to find out how to make like even regional clubs, you know, and make more so everybody's having a support group, you know, that it's just not relying on, okay, I got my kennel and I got this kennel, because, you know, in other breeds, they have these clubs and the clubs help each other out a lot, you know what I mean, in different ways. So we want to make special programs for those who are trying to have clubs and come together. I'm not talking about groups. I'm talking about whole clubs. So you might have
Like
all
UKC
these.
back in the day.
Yeah, exactly. You know,
Okay.
and I've already reached out, and I've got several what these are clubs, but they're basically registries with the Bulldogs. I've got a lot of them that's already coming on, and I think that's one of the first things that's going to strike people as different. Y'all, a lot of shows y'all come to, you might get outnumbered by the Bulldog people. You might get outnumbered by the Rottweiler people too. And it's all about competition. And the people I went to are not our typical American bully breeders that have bulldogs. Some of these people, you know, are at the highest level, and they're trying to do it the right way. And that was my goal, is to try to take in anybody. That's just like you probably missed the first part, but we was talking about the things with pit bulls, the real pit bull. We incorporating a lot of we incorporating all these activities for those people because we understand they're not really confirmation people. You know what I mean?
Right.
And in our registry, we want to promote a community. Not, you know, so to me, anybody who's willing to come in and do it under the rules that we're talking about, we're gonna use whatever resources coming into the registry to try to support and make those breeds better too. If we deal with you, we deal with you. You know. And so definitely, if it's smaller registries, one of the rules that somebody asked me is, am I against throwing a dual registry show? Absolutely not. To be honest with you, I think the only registry that I know of that is against those is the ABKC. I know the BBCR, they had considered doing shows with other people. Well, Remy Line is no longer a registry really, but they used to talk about doing it. I know Memo and them, they down to do it. So really, I'm down to work with anybody who's trying to make the dogs better. You know what I mean? So yeah, if
Would
somebody
that mean that we would have to assimilate standards though? So we would have to find a middle ground. So as far as standards, right?
Yeah, but you know what though, I'm gonna tell you, those places that I named, you know, like the IBKC standard is very close to what we talk about. Now, you know, I judged the IBKC before, and I looked over the stuff. Now, every judge does what they want to do, but the IBKC actually has a more old school standard to the way they do their dogs.
They just added another breed in. Will we be adding the exotic as a breed?
Yeah. I would never add the exotic in as a breed until these people act like they have a breed.
Let's do it for them.
You know what? I don't think they're ready. We talked about it.
You got June. June is on here. June. I mean, he got some of the best exotics I've seen.
You know, I've seen some nice exotics. I've told people that 100 times. But you know what the biggest problem is how do you get them to conform? Because I looked at the exotic and I got confused. More confused than the American bully, because even in the exotic world, it's a lot of different looks, you know. So how do you write a standard without alienating part of the looks? Because even some of the nice ones I've seen tend to look like two totally different breeds. Some of them look more English.
Yep.
Some of them look more French. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's two different dogs. And you put a judge, you know, like my guy right there, Jose, IBKC judge. That's my guy down in Mexico, man. He's a good guy, and he's a hell of a judge. And I know that he would probably look at that, and you're in a dilemma. Because if you picking a dog, any judge know when you in the ring, you want to have something that's sort of like this. So you like, okay, I can compare y'all. But now you almost make that we doing like a best in show type of thing right off top. Because we compare some, best in, best in show. It's hard, man. I think, you know what I would do? And that's what I've told somebody else. Before I brought the exotic on, I would wait until they did it and start narrowing it down, you know?
Okay.
Because if they all look like Miyagi, it would be easy, you know? Because we got a bunch of Miyagis. Which one is the best? But it's a lot of looks over there, man. A lot.
I got a couple questions. Let me read a couple questions. I'll tell you real quick.
Cool.
Somebody wants to Mike Pope wants to know, are you going to be selling ice packs at all your dog shows? Don't.
I don't support the ice packs. We sell capes. We sell the cooling capes. We sell cooling capes and fans. You know?
Dave talked about parent group. Can you let people know what parent groups are? A lot of people haven't, because all they know is ABKC. They haven't gone over to UKC. Can you kind of give them a quick overall?
The parent groups is just basically like regional groups, and what it does is it helps you better organize a lot of times. So say you in the Midwest and it's a group there. A lot of times when you see these, Fort Wayne, the capital for sure. But what you would see is, instead of like, say for instance, everybody there is bored. They feel like that the shows aren't up to par. Well, if you got the president there and everybody is a part of this club, the president will be like, you know what, we'll do our own show. And inside of that club, you might have like 500 different members. Those big clubs like that helps you for one, it helps everybody to assimilate and be on course with the plan. And for two, it makes the shows a lot more successful. Because say if all of y'all join, and more than likely people would join their own Midwest group or their own group in Florida or your South, or California is a big enough state that it can have its own damn, club just by itself. But whatever it does, you have more people working together inside of there. And it doesn't put stress on everybody. You got your president and he's just sending out emails to everybody like, hey, we trying to do a show here and there. Who's down? And you might have 40 members of the club just say, okay, well, let us know the cost. We'll put this in, or we're going to have a meet and greet here. Who at the park? And it's nothing but just breaking things down, but making the community more regionalized. That's what them clubs are most of the time. They just break everything down and bring everybody in contact with each other to try to make it more of a group effort, instead of, say, a Christina Maxwell trying to do everything and then call everybody to hope y'all come to her show, or to hope y'all come to her event, or everybody calling around. You put them in groups,
Okay. I got another good question, T. So somebody want to know, how much is it going to be to register our dogs?
$8,000 now. You know what? Right now, I'm trying to stick at the old school price of $20, and all we have to do is see where the cost is at after this guy does all this stuff. And I'm gonna tell you how the cost is pretty much based off of. A lot of it's based off of course, the paperwork itself and how much it costs to print the paperwork, ship the paperwork to you. Then I have to add in hours of the people who gonna have to be there and all that, and make sure that we ain't taking a loss. And also to support the website. So right now, I would say this right now. Expect $20 to $25. I'm aiming for the 20 to keep it at the old school 20. And if they tell me, and I do have a person who's way better than numbers than I am. If he tells me we can do it for 20, that's where we'll be at. But the very highest you'll be looking at is $25. And the paperwork is nice, It's of good quality and everything like that. So it'll be pretty cool, man. But yeah, we aiming for 20, y'all. We aiming for 20.
Jay Hardy wants to know, will you have they going back? Will you have a search engine for studs and handlers? Is that something that you will probably have a parent group do though?
Well, this is what I'm working on something, and that question put me in a weird spot because I can't say exactly. But
okay, next question. Next question is, will you do?
I'll say it'll be something to that effect. But trust me, we got some innovation things going on over here that's gonna change the way everybody do everything. You'll have way more access to everything. You won't have to call the registry for a lot of questions because we're going to put everything right in front of you, easy access, even down to the way that you chart your dog's points and everything. It's a whole lot of different shit that we're doing to make life easier and more competitive for that matter.
Okay, I got another good one. I think it'll help out everybody. Since we're now calling these bloodlines and not classes, are we going to start off with a genuine DNA, mandatory
Absolutely.
DNA?
Absolutely. That was like the very first thing that we put in. What it is we're not mandatory DNA testing you for you to register your dog. But once you try to register a litter, both parents have to be DNA. And at that time, what we're doing, and you know, that's how we get to the process. At that time, when your puppies, you know, when they want to come back in and they want to have it, they have to be DNA too. And somebody said, well, why not DNA everybody? This is the thing. Some dogs are pets. So as a dog having a pet, if he's going to be a pet and he's never going to register a litter, he's never going to, you know, get in there and show her. All I care about is your reproduction. Then there's no need for me to have you go ahead and get in the database if you don't ever plan on showing the dog, especially if you sniffed him. But before you register a litter, yeah, both parents need DNA profile on both parents. And it stops that bullshit that we see nowadays where they be like, oh, the mom was dead and this one was dead. No. And you can't have fake brothers either because we got their DNA profile. So if you start trying shit, we might pull one of the brothers and like, well, why don't these two match? And before I know someone's gonna ask that question. If it's ever a scenario that pops up that we can beyond a doubt show that whoever owned this stud was trying to pull anything funny, then they're pretty much that's a ban for life right there. It's not a ban for 3 or 4 years. It's a ban for life. You just can't register dogs no more because you was intentionally doing some bullshit. I know certain things happen, you know. I've had one of my dogs go back there and stick one of my girls on accident, and then I had that happen back in the day. But you know, we obviously know when the shit come back and it's a whole different breed and all this stuff. Okay, you're out of here, you know. So yeah, definitely that's our main thing, DNA right off top.
So we definitely gonna be calling them breeds. We're gonna DNA the dogs. We're gonna have a database and a out of this world process so that it'll be dumbed down. Now somebody else is. They agree. Oh, they want to know will they have Bashar jeans on sale at all shows and tank top.
Man.
You know you got a pair. You got 2 pair. I saw you.
Oh man, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. I'm gonna tell you, it take a special man to wear them kind of pants, and I ain't that damn special, and I don't think none of y'all is that damn special, so it don't be no need for us to sell them. I'm just gonna tell y'all that it take a special man. You need some very tiny balls to wear them things.
Y'all gonna get me in trouble, man. I'm just reading comments. I think that's it, man. I'm in the way. I think where did Bobby go, man?
Bobby's still there.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. What's funny? I was trying to actually click thumbs up to something you were saying and clicked in.
And you clicked yourself in. Well, I'm glad you clicked in, brother. I'm glad you clicked in. You did a good job. Shit.
Oh, I got a good one. Though. This is my question. Junior handlers. Will we have a scale for them? You know I was going that route.
Yeah.
Will we have a educational scale for them? There's Bobby. An educational scale and platform for them, and will we also have something that the registry promotes them into the next level? For instance, you know, I got Vaughn, one of my handlers. We got Logan. We got a lot of good junior handlers, but it's kind of like they fall off into nothing once they get so far. Vaughn can handle right now with probably and I'm not bragging because he's mine.
Yeah.
He can handle. You seen him? He can handle with just about anybody right now. And he's tearing it up in UKC as well. Will the kids have a place when they're 14 and good, 17 and good, 18 and good?
Absolutely. I'll tell you what. We are going to go. Our junior handler program is basically, we got some work to do on there. But the main idea of our junior handler program is to prepare them to go to the ring. It's not to leave you at any place. Once I feel like this. Once you're ready to compete, you're ready to compete. I'm not judging a handler anyway. I'm judging the dog. So once these kids get past that point to where junior handler class is just no more for you, let's go. Let's start promoting you in a way to get you in the ring and showing dog. I don't like that absent time. And even what we even talked about and have discussed is a junior judge program. That if they get bored with that, then you study to be a judge. There's nothing wrong with going and starting starting your process to learn how to be a judge. Everybody who's going to be judging for us has already said, "Oh, I wouldn't mind mentoring the kids." We've already reached out to several handlers from bigger registries and other breeds. We've reached out to several of the best judges, in my opinion, in the world. We've actually reached out to handlers who showed at Westminster, 2 of them that's won at Westminster, and they're going to try to get them to come over. And it's funny because they're open to it, come to do seminars and talk. And I told them primarily, everybody is sitting in on it, but those, especially when those big-time handlers and huge successful handlers come in, I think it's paramount that the kids get in front of them, because then the kids can ask those raw questions and get real answers. Sometimes it might even be something that we told them that was wrong, and this person who's been handling for 40 years, like, I can show you a better way. It's nothing wrong with that. Mm-hmm. But, like I know, our time is ticking, Eventually, you want to step away from the ring. And these kids who are 14, 15, 16 years old right now, in 5, 6 years, they're really the ones who are coming into the ring. So if our breed is going to succeed, we need to educate them and show them the proper way to do it so that we starting off on a good foot. The people who are here now, you're going to get tired of showing. Eventually, you're going to be like, you know what? I'm graduating. Hey, look, you too. You graduating to something else. You start showing your kids how to do it. You start teaching other people how to do it, but you're a judge now, or you just, you just out there just teaching, and the best way that we can succeed is to let our young handlers and even fresh faces that's coming in be educated. That's why the barbecue system, it is a difference. If you see our things advertised as a barbecue or a meet and greet, by our rules, that can only be a one show. It's a combo. It's a one show seminar type of deal. So you only get one actual show that day, where I like those type of deals because that means all of the best dogs are going to get in the ring at the same time, and that's that. But when people do those things, you might get somebody like, say, Sean from True Tank to come out and you do a Q&A. You set up the chairs, you set up the table, he get out there with his microphone and let people bang him for an hour, Well, what about this? What about that? What about this? Because that's the part that's missing, and that's something that, not to beat up on Dave too much, but most people don't even know that Dave really knows how to breed dogs. And I'm telling you, the guy knows dogs. He can breed dogs, but he never talks about it. So at the end of the day, we got people who come in with these crazy theories on how to make a bully, and the main guys who make bullies, you rarely ever hear from them. It's like the information that got suppressed. Nobody wants to hear what Pratt's got to say, because they're not going to like it because they're doing it the wrong way. Most of these breeders now, when he starts talking about having tight skin and movement and breathing issues not being accepted, he's picking their yard apart without even trying to, and it's offensive. And the truth of the matter is, if Dave would have made that an issue a long time ago and started pushing education, we wouldn't have people so far gone right now.
So basically, you're telling me, T, that we're going to have a lot of seminars early on. Like, at every show I've ever hosted, I've hosted 6 shows over the last 6-7 years. I have a seminar. I've had Ron Ramos.
Yeah.
I've had some of the older, more senior judges come and they hold seminars because people are handling dogs and they think you can walk in there with your choke chain out the backyard, your boat chain, and I mean the etiquette is being lost because there's not enough teaching.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. Absolutely. This is what we hear from my partner. Danny just jumped on. Danny from Rhode Island. I forgot I got 2 of them.
Oh,
but
Bobby said, hold on, T. I think I'm taking over the show. Bobby said, can we tell the name of the registry yet?
No.
Okay, no. And then another question real quick. My bad, y'all. My bad. Someone wants to know, will the registry, the standard for the pit bull be from ADBA world or from UKC world?
I'm going to tell you, this is an interesting question, and it's amazing that somebody asked that question. Bombshell of the day is probably going to be both. We're going to give people the opportunity, and we're going to have to word it a certain way, but we're going to give people the opportunity to put themselves in a class. Because we've known this for a long time. Everybody who knows pit bull has known that it's always been that war of the UKC versus the ADBA style. And they are 2 totally different dogs, but they share a name. And the argument is really over the name. And
history lesson.
Huh? Yeah, it's a huge. That's what it is. It's a huge history lesson. That's the battle. So at the end of the day, what we figured out and what we said is, why can't you do both? You know what I mean? Why do you have to pick or choose? Why do you have to kick anybody out? They can sit there and they can try to argue about the name all they want to, but nobody's dog will be alienated if we make 2 different classes for the pit bull.
I'm gonna get you, T. I'm gonna get you. The reason why a newbie will say you have to separate them because they are 2 different dogs. The UKC style dog is 10 pounds is big in our world.
Yeah.
10 pounds is big in our world. And if my dog has been out on the trail chasing my 4-wheeler every day for the last 3 months, and then I clean him up, bring him to a show, and this dog has been in air-conditioned RV for the last 4 months, and you tell me I got to find a place, we almost got to call them, we almost got to do the same thing to them, T, that we doing for the American Bully.
Well, this is the difference, and it's the biggest difference. The American Bully isn't a breed, and this was our conversation earlier. If you ask somebody about the ADBA style pit bull, right? It's a very established dog. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas you go to the UKC pit bull, it's a very established dog. You know what it is. It exists. The American Bully doesn't exist. And I think that's why the course is different. Now, it's still not in stone that both dogs will come in, but we for sure know that the UKC style will come in. But the other style has a legitimate argument because they are actually older. You know what I mean?
The original registry.
Yeah, and it puts us in a bind because of this. If we choose the originals, right, and we eliminate the UKC style dog, the UKC style dog is the one that our dogs came from, for the most part. So it puts you in and that's why it's been suggested that we say, you know what, you can maintain both. And I tell you what, you'll probably hardly ever see happen is show hosts pick both breeds. You know what I mean? A show host most of the time won't say, we're going to get both of the pit bulls in the house. But I think for the paperwork issue and keeping the open mind, the working dogs are the ones that work the most are the ADBA style most of the time, you know?
So let me ask you that, since you said that word. A lot of people in the American Bully world don't know this, but you got a lot of old heads on here. Tommy said, you know who he is.
Yeah.
But working dogs. So will we have a class for our working dogs?
Oh, we not only have a class, we're gonna have a whole world for working dogs. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's gonna be a world. It's gonna
Okay.
be so many competitions. But you know what that is though? It's funny. It's not. It don't go by confirmation rules. And what I
Nope.
mean by that
That's
is any breed might show up and whoop your ass that day. Those are open. And say for instance, you know, the guy down the street who's had his dog and been teaching his dog all these tricks, and he got a mutt. If he brings that mutt in there and his dog can climb that wall and snatch that rope, or his dog wants to do the tug of war as long as he makes weight, we'll let him go at it. You know, we'll let him go at it. Now maybe not the tug of war, but like the agility competitions and stuff like that.
yeah.
It's gonna be open, you know, and
So
I'll tell you the mentality behind it being open like that, you know. And now it's not, you know, we're getting closer and closer, so some of the secrets can come out because within the next couple of weeks, y'all gonna know everything anyway. But the mentality behind that is to keep our community from being closed. Our community right now is like, you know, a secret society. And that secret society mentality is the reason, the biggest reason, in my opinion, that our community got like it has, because it shut off from all the other people that know about dogs. Most of the real old school dog men don't come to our shows. I think we need a presence that opens the door up to old school dog men from different worlds to come in, and that includes the English bulldog, that includes the French bulldog, that includes, you know, the American bulldog. You need guys who really know dogs to feel like, okay, I can come in this door and talk my shit because it's going to be done like it's supposed to be done. Not being shocked when they come in and be like, man, that shit ain't right, and walk back out the door, which we've seen a lot, you know.
let me see. Yeah. Oh yeah. You lighten it up. So is it safe to say that we will be able to register many breeds in the working class?
Yeah. In the working class, you know what? In the working class, we gonna call that the challenge class. Basically, that's what it's gonna be. You know, our dog's gonna have to go up against some bad boys, and we can't forget that in some of them working classes, and then, you know, and everything has weight classes, so it makes it somewhat more fair. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. Rottweilers are gonna come around for, you know, XL's gonna have their hands full. You know, now I know some guys. I know some guys that whatchamacallit. I know some guys that let me hit this button, okay, that have bullies that do working shit. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I look forward to seeing some of the bullies do some working type drills against dogs that come from the working group. You know, that's gonna be fun.
My boy Terry Gay just jumped on here. Let me ask you this, T. As a show host myself, and you already know that debacle. So I've seen this. Let me stop telling on myself. With this registry, will this registry be run registry first, or will it be show host run as far as the shows? Second part to that question comes from, like, for instance, let's say tug of war. That's kind of cheap and expensive to run as far as equipment. But when you start getting into weight pools and somebody having a track and somebody moving a track, will you try to help establish the parent clubs or regional clubs to have that stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot more simple than what people thought. Just like we've started talking about the lure coursing thing, and we just reached out to people who already had courses, you know what I mean? And basically start locating where this equipment is at, where the people who have these things at, and getting involved with them. Because most of the time, like when you start talking about weight pool equipment and stuff like that, the people who have it don't mind bringing it out. Just nobody ever asks them. You know, most of the time that stuff is sitting around. They're like, shit, I'd love to come out there and put it on, you know, give me a couple $100 or whatever. So you just have to locate these people, and we're trying to make a network to where we can start finding all those people, you know, that do weight pools. And basically you have to go into their communities, you know what I mean? Right, that's why I say we have to open it up, like, just like with the Schützen contest. I had to call a bunch of Schützen guys. If I'm going to find the stuff, that's where I got to go. You know, lure coursing is the same thing. You have to find the people. But once you find the people, it makes it simple, you know. And we definitely are going to set up a network to get all these things going. Because right now, as far as the bully community, we are the only one who are really, really, truly pushing athletic events. So we're gonna have to make it a lot easier for people to be able to do them.
Right. Somebody said weight pull carts are easier. Also, Red Bear will be out there working. Let me see.
Oh
Let me
yeah.
see.
Oh yeah.
Will there be tacos and beer being sold at each show? Yep.
If you in Cali, and
Roman Garcia. That's Roman
I'm
Garcia. Right there.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. When I was in California, man, that was our shit. But it was it was real tacos though. You know what I mean? Wasn't none of that bullshit. It was a real Mexican taco. And I had to clear that up for the people who have not had a real taco. A real taco ain't that shit at Taco Bell. This is some
Oh
beautiful
yeah, yeah,
shit.
yeah.
This is some beautiful shit that they make, man. And so yeah, California, they always had they always had them damn tacos. And I don't drink beer, but I damn sure drink tequila. So depending on the venue, if they let us, we have it.
Yeah, yeah, they going nuts for it. Will we? I keep talking about we. I might as well get a job. Where my application at, T?
Shit, you don't think I'm a damn sure gonna try to snatch you?
Will we have accept all bloodlines? I think y'all need to go to Bobby's live and talk about bloodlines first. But go ahead, T.
Well, let's say not. I will say blood because I don't think anybody has a line. But well, right now I'm gonna tell you, for though a lot of people are concerned, Dax is not banned. So it's only 2 dogs that we have officially banned as of now, and I guarantee you that list is gonna grow. But Bullseye Blood is banned,
Guarantee. Hope for the best, T.
and we know it's gonna happen, man. Bullseye Blood is gonna be banned, and so is Miyagi Blood. And it's for different reasons. Obviously, when you look at Bullseye, it's obvious that he doesn't come from straight American bully stock. It's just obvious. I'm not going to debate it with myself or anybody else. Miyagi, on the other hand, not only is it questions about where he came from, but then his owner was caught up doing a whole lot of French bulldog semen. So if we're gonna take it serious, we got to take it serious, and we got to snip those lines. And y'all gonna see a lot of that throughout the years. Because I'm not being negative, but I know people's mindsets, and I know people think that they can get away with anything. So, people gonna test us all the time. All the time they're gonna test us, and we're gonna be ready for the test. And we're gonna, a lot of people are gonna fall to the wayside because we can't keep on allowing things that are not a part of our breed to come into our breed. We have to make it better. So
So I think you answered the question for those people who are keep asking about Toad Line. Hey Mike, we'll catch you later, man. People are asking will Toad Line be accepted and allowed?
no, and I would be shocked if anybody from Toad Line tried to put a dog in our registry. But if they do, then that'll give us the database information we need to ban their ass. Because they just don't fit the standards, and they have admitted to already doing shit. So it's like it's no need. We trying to make the dogs that came from where they're supposed to come from, and we know some of them are going to get through. But when you obviously just made a frog, why would you try to put it in a dog registry? You made a fucking frog, man.
You trying to put Oh yeah, I definitely will be doing shows in Arizona. I'm speaking for you, T. He'll be doing shows in Arizona. Someone asked, well, what about Louis V? Will Louis V with his blood be? But you answered that I think a couple lives ago. Anything that has it 5 years back, 5-6 years back, if it's in the pedigree, it's not coming in, right? Any Miyagi,
it can't get in. If you look at your pedigree and you check the ban list and you go back and you find out your dogs come from that, unfortunately, we can't do it. Even if it's 6 or 7 generations back, you just can't do it. It just, it's something that we all discussed, and we just said, basically, if you make one little, I'll let that go, then it opens up the gate for everybody else to complain. Well, what about this and what about that? So, we talking about structure and rules, so we have to follow it to the T. even sometimes when we might want to let something go, can't let it go.
Okay. Dax will be allowed. I can answer that for y'all. I was there the other day. Just because maybe y'all don't hear it from T, I'll say it for T. He is not against that, and that's one of the lines that's not. We can't prove without a shadow of a doubt. So it's here, it's there. So we're gonna move forward with it. But let's see some of that old stuff. Let's see some of that health blood. Let's see some of that gray line blood. Let's see some of that old school stuff.
I think that's going to be the shell. I think that's going to be where people get a little bit shell shocked at. And I'm going to tell y'all this. I'm going to tell y'all this, and I know it for a fact. Don't be surprised, American bully community, when these dinosaurs come from up out of the ground. People believe that the American bully, as the early American bully, just died off. I'm going to tell y'all the process went a little something like this. You still had Remy line, and they had a ton of Remy dogs that looked like Remy. You still got a lot of D-line dogs out there that we produced over the years that basically are edge dogs. A lot of the stuff that Sean from True Tank that still has his more original look is still around. All those dogs that he sold, you know, all of the Marco Suarez Paco dogs are still around. There's some Hef blood out there, some King Kamali blood out there. It's all of these dogs are around, but what happened is when all of this controversy started coming on about them allowing this extreme stuff, and even as the extreme spread throughout the rest of the breeds, nobody felt welcome, and a lot of people felt pushed away from the ABKC. These dogs still exist, and they exist heavy. Trust me. Y'all don't know them because they're not the people who are trying to sell studs for $1 million and posting every day, but they are out there. So, yeah, we will be bringing back some old American bullies.
I guess they need to hear it from UT. They want you to kind of clarify. They want you to clarify the 5-6 generations back for Miyagi and Bullseye, grandsons and stuff like that. Like, how's that gonna work? Like, give them the quick spiel, man, about genetics, because I guess some people they don't get it.
I don't have a problem with it. Okay, this is it. This is it. We are trying to narrow our gene pool. They talk about the term stud books is used and stuff like that, but we understand that we are at a bad point in the American bully community. And in order to make that bad point leap to a level of success, our main plan is over the next decade, and we do look at it as a decade, to really tighten up the gene pool and eliminate a lot of dogs that are going to be problems to the standard. So a dog, say, like a Miyagi, he's a problem to the standard. It's nothing about him that says American bully. He's exotic till he dies, and he's died about 18 times now. And
not the tricolor.
Not to try. He's still making it, as far as we know. But but that those dogs, when you put it in there, you like, okay, it's so far back. But some of y'all don't remember this dog named Hippo that Dave had years ago. Now, Hippo, it was a big controversy started about him because way back in his pedigree, it was a Mastiff in his pedigree. Well, this was the thing about Hippo, man. You could try to deny that, Dave tried to break it down, and he was like, after you break down all the numbers, he's not even really 3% Mastiff. But the dog had like a 28-inch head on a not, and it didn't look like an American bully head. It was like a big Frankenstein Mastiff head. And I've said the same thing about Michael Jordan's whole family being under 6 feet tall, and he had, I think it was a great grandfather that was 6'6". Michael Jordan 6'6", the only person in his family that was over 6 foot. And I make those little comparisons right there to show y'all. It's very easy if we allow a Miyagi great to come in there or whatever. His gene pool is still in there. And why we won't allow it in there is because those who have enough skill to start pushing towards that look, they can bring that look right back up front. If you allow a couple Miyagi dogs in there and you start line breeding that Miyagi blood, even if it's 5 generations back, line breeding doubles up and strengthens genes. You can reproduce a dog 5 generations back in the pedigree if you start playing with it enough. So our answer to that is going to be, no matter where it's at, we don't want to give anybody the opportunity to play with it, because then we're going to find ourselves going backwards again and having to have the same arguments that we having now. It's best to just eliminate it. Once you put a drop of black in a can of white paint, it'll never be white again.
So and I'm one of those people, man. I have my project line I've been working on for about 10 years.
Yeah.
And then I got a few dogs. I got some, I call it mix and match.
Yeah.
I got some mix and match dogs. I got a couple of them that,
Yeah.
to match.
And what everybody has, it's cool. It's just, with us, you gotta have the rules. Rules are gonna be everything. As long as we got our rules, and as long as we do that, we can push towards being a breed. I want to emphasize to y'all, I still feel like that this is not a breed, and that's where we're trying to go. We are trying to make the American Bully very identifiable over the next decade. When and that's why we're hooking up with sponsors. We're trying to invite more community events. We're doing all this stuff because as we establish our look, the more the community sees this look and they understand what the dog is, it's a different representation of what it has now. And right now, the American Bully has an ugly look out in the community right now. People don't really think too highly of us, y'all. I hate to bust your bubble, but they don't.
Hey, T, they want to know tell them what classes we'll have, what breeds we'll have. What breeds of the American Bully sort now will we have? Will we have classics,
no.
XLs,
standard? You have 3 breeds of American Bullies, and that's going to be the pocket, the standard, and the XL. The classic is gone. You either going to have a standard or you're going to have a pit bull. We don't want to confuse with this 2 dogs with the same height and let the judge get yelled at for deciding if the one is the one. That's too much. Either you got a pit bull or you and the reason why it'll work better in our registry is we judging off a structure, So if the dog has the frame of an American Bully, he's an American Bully. A dog won't get penalized for being lighter in weight if the package is all the way together and he's a very nice dog. If the judge decides on that point that, hey man, you more of a pit bull, then that's where you need to be. And it'll be easily distinguishable because, certain dogs certain dogs that we see in the ABKC that are classic champions could never go to the UKC and win. So, we just gonna cut that classic talk out, man. You got your 3 heights, your dogs. If not, you're in the pit bull class.
Hey, Pagans, you don't have to get rid of all your dogs if you have Miyagi blood. There are different places in the registry for you to be a part of what we got going on. Working classes. There's going to be a lot of different stuff that you can do, so you don't have to get rid of the whole yard. But I suggest get a little more research going on up under you. Doing research might suggest that you get rid of some of those bloods on your yard, because if there's gonna be a breed, what'll happen is you can't keep perpetuating that, or you have to call somewhere else your home. But we'll have a place. We'll have a place for you.
Yeah, I mean, because those dogs, like Miyagi dogs and stuff like that, they aren't banned from any physical activities. They aren't banned from obedience and different things like that. And we're gonna have an extensive obedience program too, And I mean, they're not banned, but as far as the show ring, we just have to follow our rules. That's it. Not trying to kick anybody down, but trust me, somebody has to be the bad guy.
They're asking right now. They're asking, will you have limited shows? So we have bigger shows. Magoo blood, okay. Magoo is okay. Yes, he answered that. Angelo.
Yeah, he's asked. Yeah. Will I limit the number of shows? Yeah, it's going to be more limited. But I tell you one thing, and I have a theory on this. I don't think that our shows are necessarily, it's too many of them all together. I think sometimes we put too many shows in the same area. What I do think though is that there needs to be a better job of promotion. And I think that our registry will be able to help people promote the shows better too. Because what we have a lot of, people throw shows and it's hard to throw a show, you know that. And it's
Yes,
sometimes
I
hard,
do.
it's hard to get the word out. And we have some people, and that's something that I used to do. That's why we was always getting shut down. But I have some techniques, and we gonna study the techniques and see if they help the show community. Because one of the biggest problems that we have with the shows is that locally we don't get the turnouts that we're supposed to. And
Yeah, I have a problem with that here, man. My show, I throw 2 shows a year, and everybody they big dog this and big dog that, and I got puppies. I'm selling puppies by the bucketfuls, and I get to the show, and everybody from Texas and Arizona is in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and I call for the local people, and it's 3.
That's something that has to change. We have to, and that's more so too why we opening up everything to try to invite other people in. See, I don't have a problem opening up our doors to anybody because we won't have anything to hide. We won't have to feel ashamed about what our judges are picking and all that shit. And I think by having and I'm going to encourage every show host to try to have some kind of something outside of just confirmation. Because when you start opening up your doors to the rest of the community, it pushes your numbers up and it pushes the interest up. Our American bully community is very isolated. Nobody wants to admit it because we all on Facebook and we get alerts from all kind of American bully people, but most of them are from around the world. It's really a very small, tight-knit community more than we think it is. We have to be able to find ways to expand the community. And I got some good ideas on doing it, but to answer the question, yeah, we won't be having 1 million shows, especially not 5 shows in the same city.
And I'll speak to this, man. I've been throwing shows now probably about 6-7 years. I think and ABKC tried a good way to separate it this year was they opened up the mileage, but they haven't stuck to it. Because in the Midwest, you know how close we are here in the Midwest. In the Midwest, Ohio, yeah. I'm in Fort Wayne, and in 3 hours, I can get to
in Ohio. Yep.
Ohio, Chicago. I can get to Kentucky. I can get to Illinois. Some people don't know the difference, but Illinois. Yeah. I can get to 4 different states from my state in a 3 hour radius. So for me, if I throw a show here, and all 4 of them states throw a show, we can fill up a month easy.
Yeah.
And then it makes it really hard to see. Then you start playing favorites. Well, I'm gonna go to his show because that's my boy, but I ain't gonna go to that one. But then I'm gonna go to this one. So I think mapping out the region is gonna be important too.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely gonna be mapped out, and I do everything a little more technical. I do everything probably a lot more technical. And one of the things that I want to do a lot of, man, is I want to make sure that, I think I want to make sure, if nothing else, that everything is given the best opportunity to succeed, And I actually have people that when I was talking about we're going to do a little more, I have people who are real show promoters, like concert promoters, and I find people who know how to do a job, you know what I mean? And a couple of the people that I deal with, this is how they eat. They eat by putting people in seats. I don't care what the event is, that's what they do. And they're going to help us out a lot in ways to get people in there, because this topic is funny because this is just as important to the breed as the dogs are in a lot of ways. We need to stretch our community out because our community is infested with a bunch of fucked up people, to be honest.
There's too much inbreeding going on right now. Ain't nobody outcrossed, right?
Yeah. Yeah, we fucked up. And if we don't get new blood, in our community, it's we already see what it is. I mean, I hate to keep going back, but like I told y'all before, and fuck the guy. But Bashar is like the key example of everything that's wrong with our community. When you have a man that can sit there and tell you he don't care about dogs and this and that and the other and all the other antics that he pulled, but he's one of the biggest faces and he's accepted everywhere he goes, and nobody even questions outside of us most of the bullshit that he pulls and even the condition of his dog. It shows that we need some of those veteran AKC type of people that come in and be like, what the fuck was that? You need somebody to come in with that mindset of like, oh no, that was bullshit right now. Because if you don't get enough people to come in there and call bullshit and set a new standard for what we doing, life will be over for the breed.
Is bleed? Bling. George telling jokes.
Oh shit, that's gotta be George Bostic.
Yep.
What's going on, man? God bless. Yeah, that's the good guy there, man.
Yep.
I'm gonna tell you probably what he was about to say, but of course, his dog ain't gonna make the standard. I like the boy, but he ain't gonna make the standard. But this is what it is. We thought about it, and it's not gonna happen immediately, but eventually, we thought about possibly making an extreme breed, cleaning up the standard,
Come
and making
on, Doc. Don't play T.
Huh?
We need it.
Yeah. I mean, I actually talked to Dave about this a while ago, and he didn't want to do it. But the thing about it is an extreme breed would give you the opportunity. It's not an exotic, but it's certain dogs that would fit inside the extreme breed. Even like Rocco would fit inside of an extreme breed, because if you look at the characteristics that are more bulldog, his traits are allowed in bulldog breed. The slightly higher rear, the more circular eyes, the more circled head, the more all these bulldog traits, he would fit in there, if you made an extreme breed. So we actually have talked about it as a way, and of course, we would have to figure out the parameters of it, but they would not, of course, be allowed to be bred to American bullies and be called an American bully. But possibly, their offspring could be considered whatever the extreme breed would be. And that's sort of like an alternative to help clean up the breed and give everybody their own slot to go. And when we do that, it will be judged strictly. If we make it to that point to actually include that in, it will be judged very, very strictly. Because
they want to know about kryptonite blood, and then George wanted to say, is his blood gonna be allowed? Yeah, George, your blood, the bloodline's gonna be allowed. That corrupt and that
absolutely.
Yeah, that's all gonna be allowed. They want to know about kryptonite blood.
I don't even know kryptonite's pedigree.
I don't either.
I just tell you like this: if your dog don't have Dax or not Dax, I'm sorry, Bullseye or Miyagi in there right now. If you don't have those two dogs in there, your blood is allowed right now. That's right now. It's always going to be where you have reviews, and we've seen it over the years throughout our community. Is what happens is you'll have one guy who decided to sneak in the backyard and change the game. And that's when we'll have reviews like, did you see this shit? And then we have to go ahead and make an executive decision to get rid of that. But right now, it's only two dogs that's been eliminated.
Two dogs. The whole line is banned.
Yeah, because that's the death pill, and you got to be careful when you give out the death pill. And we were very careful in that thought process, and. I mean, shit, even the ABKC gave them a death pill for a while, and then they they always do. They don't stick to shit. But definitely, that's it, But we in the conversation, and I will tell y'all. Somebody asked me about the extreme breed. It's going to take some talking over the next couple of weeks. Me and John got to talk about it. John is like an expert on, making dogs and making a breed. And we see, it might if the extreme breed comes along, it might be an introductory breed to where it's technically not a breed, even though you can get paperwork on it, but the dog has to be perfected before it's considered a breed. But they'll have their own special shows, and then at the end, they come in and they try to compete against the other dogs to gain points to become a breed. And that takes years. I've seen that the American Bully is going through that process right now in Colombia, and it might take 5 or 6 years before it's accepted into their registry. But they are trying, and they are going in there and competing against some of the best dogs. And I think, if those style of dogs are your cup of tea, the main thing you want is an opportunity, So we might be able to give them that opportunity.
What does that say? Shows be run more like UKC style, where it may be a few different breeds per day. I think that question is a little detailed. A lot of people don't know the UKC. So basically, what kind of like the standard ABKC show right now, you may have 3 breeds, but you may not have the others. Like, will it always be, no matter what, all 3 breeds for the American Bully?
I mean, I think that's on the show host. If the show host wants to throw a show and eliminate the pocket, that's on them. You don't have to have the pocket. The events and stuff that you pick for your show is going to be your show. Now, we'll always, if you do have a show, it'll always be whatever breed you pick have to compete against each other, go through their stages, and meet each other in the best in show. But we don't have like those type of classes like the AKC where you had a working group and all that. We don't have groups, so it's going to be pretty much how the ABKC runs the show now. It's just if you want to eliminate a class, that's on you. You can eliminate the pocket or the standard or whatever. But as long as it falls within the rules, we good to go.
Somebody said it's messed up. You treating some of these bloodlines like Special Olympics.
Well, they're special. I just, man, I can't have a dog just falling out dead on you. You know what I mean?
Right. Somebody else wants to know, will you be overseas with the registry?
Oh, will I be overseas? I'm gonna tell you what, and I just had to plug my phone up, so y'all forgive me. But absolutely. Right now we have Trinidad is ready to go, and we lost Drew. But man, I appreciate my brother coming on there. I think Bobby is here, but I'll finish. Yeah, Bobby's right there. Bobby, I'm clicking you in. Hopefully you ain't doing something crazy. But Trinidad, Panama, a lot of cities, a lot of countries, sorry, forgive me. A lot of countries in the in South and Central America. I'm trying to, I feel horrible, right? Oh, the Philippines, yeah, of course. I got a good friend and D-line brother over there, so. Okay, there go Bobby. And, we have, you fell asleep.
No, I was fitting to you. You on this motherfucker till goddamn, what time is it? I don't even know. I gotta go to sleep in the morning.
Man, this guy be up all night and he gonna complain about me.
Cause of your ass, man. You the only wild dude got this bitch banging weights at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning.
Oh yeah, I'm outside the gym right now. I'm feeling good, man. I drunk my pre-workout. I'm gonna smash legs. It's gonna be a beautiful thing, man. I'm gonna do my workout. Go to the salon tomorrow. Get my hair all cut up. You ain't gonna be able to tell me shit.
Hey, LeBron James hairline ass. What's going on, man?
Shit, that shit. You see that shit? That shit all the way in there now. That shit
all
the way. Oh yeah, that's the Viagra making my hair grow. Yeah, man. Nah, man, Drew came in, man, and he was rolling, man. He was rolling. Helped me out tonight. You know, earlier, I don't know if you got on here earlier, but I touched on a lot of the same things you touched on, man, about the,
Yeah, no, I came on immediately. The first one you got cut off, and then the second one,
yeah,
the second one you started. Everything you said about Devin was 100% right. You know what I'm saying? But oh man, the everything, everything, like everything that you said is 100% correct on it.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And the reason because there's no reason, you know, initially, like we said before, initially, you know, you didn't know anyone. It was, you know, it was kind of funny. It ain't funny. There ain't nothing funny about it, man. And people should take the same veracity with the real problem of this, but they took the same veracity, you know what I'm saying, ferociousness with the real problems of this bully game, like they do picking on this kid. They'd be good.
yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, I think it's very misdirected, you know. And I mean, you know, we gotta do better, man. We have fun with certain things, but I think, you know, we have to understand who deserves what, you know. You don't have to agree with everything, but it's targets out there that are better than the kid who you know don't know any better. You know what I mean?
Exactly. You know, and what if he, you know, like I try to tell that chick, you know, you know, with the boobies and shit, you know.
The breastfeeder.
What if they would have came and got him? You know where them dogs are going to?
They're gonna get that needle. They're gonna get that needle.
They got 30 days. And by them being working dogs, what's the likelihood of them even remotely even thought about being adopted? Slim to none.
Yeah, very much so, slim to none.
I mean, I don't know. Well, you know I'm saying this jokingly and rhetorically. I don't know about you, but them. But I'd rather be where they're at with Devin than be in a kill shelter in Texas.
Yeah, and that's what I said. I said, man, he's not, you know, he ain't got it all the way together, but trust me, that needle is coming if they go anywhere else. Yeah, that needle is coming if they go anywhere else, man. You know, and you know, I think sometimes people just get a little bit beyond themselves. You know what I mean?
With the self-righteousness.
Man, you know, yeah, very self-righteous, you know. And we all in this thing trying to do the right thing and trying to get by, you know what I mean? And you know, I wish nothing but the best for the kid, man.
Yeah, me too, man. It was funny, you know, kicking it with him when he first came on, and when he came on with you, you know, I think you handled it. I told you that then. I thought you handled it great. You didn't clown him or anything. I was joking with him because I had a motherfucker, you know, I thought I'd do that with my own uncle. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the relentlessly just bully him and just pick on him, nah, I ain't doing that shit.
Nah.
When he said recall bullies, I about died. When he said recall, I still laugh at that shit. I'm still gonna laugh at it, but that's got nothing to do with his mentality.
Yeah, you got to recall these motherfuckers.
Yeah, you gotta recall these motherfuckers, man.
You gotta recall that titty that popped out today.
Dog. Here's the thing, man. You know, I mean, you already well know, man. It's comical as bitch. Like I tell everybody, man, who don't like seeing titties and everything. But this goes back to the whole dog shit. You want a live fucking video? Come on, man. Keep it real. Let's be real, man. You trying to get attention? You know what I'm saying? Don't give me that shit if I'm just breastfeeding my baby. If it was that important, then hang up the fucking phone on Devin.
I'm gonna tell you the truth. The titty wasn't that bad though.
No, but it was engorged with milk. Come on, man. You know that shit ain't hurt. Never mind.
I just wanted to reel you in, the titty expert. I knew the titty expert was going to say some shit.
No, man. Come on, man. That shit's just engorged with milk. Well, they all look good when they're pregnant. You know damn good well those were mosquito bites about 20 months ago. Come on, she bought them.
I heard it here first. Them titties was paid for.
Yeah, mosquito bites. I mean, like I said, I ain't mad at the chick. Wait till you see the post, because I was about to put up a post about her that somebody sent me that she directed directly at me in D-Line. And they sent it to me, and I was about to post it when you went live. The only reason why it ain't up right now is because you were doing live. I mean, she's one of the other ones that's already still talking shit. Nobody booted her, and I wasn't even mean to her. But she's sitting over. Here was my thing with what she did with Devin that I thought, and I told her this. Nobody was questioning where her intentions were. Just like ain't nobody should be questioning where Devin's intentions are. We're talking about mentally. But can't nobody say that Devin's heart ain't in the right place.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so,
absolutely.
And so the same, like with her, when she was trying to justify what she was doing, I said, look, if you would have just straight up told the guy that you were trying to do animal control, that was one thing. But you were trying to deceive him and tell him that you had money for his puppies. And then when he was taking the bait, you realize, you know what I'm gonna do? No, it ain't for your puppies. I'm lying to you. It's so I can send the animal control to your house. I didn't approve of that.
No, that's
you know what I'm saying?
That's not good. I think, I know where she's coming from, but I think she just went too damn far.
Yeah, exactly. And I told her that. She went about it the wrong way. And then when I'm sitting there, and like I do everybody, I gave her the opportunity to defend herself because she wanted to come on there. And the first thing she goes, and who are you? Which didn't bother me. I'm just an average guy like everybody else trying to make ends meet. But when she said, and why are you rolling your eyes? What the fuck did this motherfucker myself? What the fuck did she just say? You know what I'm saying? I'm rolling my eyes. But I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing. And then when I seen it again this morning, and a couple people are messaging me like, yo, you see the titty girl yet? I said, who? They said that chick that you had on last night, she's doing another live video with Devin right now. Just pop right out. I said, word? So, tell me a couple other people sitting in the school. They sent me the joint, right? I'm looking at this shit. I said, I know where she's going with this. And whoop, I said, Lord, look at this attention-seeking Kim Kardashian, New Jersey shore riding. You know what I'm saying? Fucking
man. Because they put it in a private message. They like, I done seen it all. And I'm like, seen what? They said, it's titties out on D-line. I said, man.
Dog, she got the fastest Chongo in history. She got the fastest Chongo. We had the Chongo award over about 6 o'clock.
Man.
And she's working on it back.
Man. I said, damn, baby. And the baby was rude, too. The baby ain't say hi or nothing. Just jump right on the titties. I said, well, damn, hey, little homie, what's up?
Yeah.
Baby said, shit, y'all just keep on talking. I'll be here.
And then look, she just
take
kept
care of
doing
this
her.
business. So baby was like...
Dog, and then she kept on getting mad because it was women asking her or making comments on her video while she was doing it. And before I knew it, the women are telling me that she done blocked half her D-line. I said, oh, no. You know what I'm saying? That you invited it. You want to be Miss Nancy Grace doing your 25 live videos about the same redundant subject. So then she did that. And then she started making comments to them. I was like, okay, this is going to be an easy Chongo because everybody was hitting me with it. So I made it. I made her the Chongo.
Well, I'm going to tell you shit. I was very close. I'm like, I was going to ask her, could I see a titty again or something? I said, well, damn, if you wanted it, you going to just put it out there, just go ahead. Because I knew if she flipped them babies out a couple more times, we was going to get to 30,000 fast. I was trying to get her to just spit them babies. Like, go ahead, get the baby out of the way. I had already had Luke Skywalker on deck. I was about to play that shit for her and go live with her and let her twirl them bitches. We about to push some numbers up in here. I said, twirl it, girl. Twirl it. Twirl it. I was just trying to get the numbers up.
I mean, she's used to it. I mean, because not that I love the profession, but, she's an exotic dancer. So it ain't nothing she wouldn't have been accustomed to.
I'm your private dancer. Dancing for life. Mm-hmm. Man, I mean, Oh, love with it. I tell you, the coolest thing about our page is, man, the coolest thing about our page is this, man. People just don't give a fuck.
Nope.
Our page is probably the only page where you can see John Easterly putting up some good, strong stuff with great conversations and stuff. And I got to call John because I missed his call earlier. But
I missed him too. He hit me up too.
You can see some good stuff on there, and then all of a sudden you see a titty pop out.
A titty pop out.
Or
Dude,
you
this
see,
shit is-
or you see Devin on that mug. My dogs don't even fight, and like on cue, as soon as he say my dogs don't fight, they attack. That's the only place you can see this kind of shit.
You got the Chongo. We got everybody. I mean, and you know what's great, T? Because I know you was busy, and I keep telling everybody, you know, you can't do everything, and I can't be mixing in everything. You're trying to get the registry going.
Yeah.
I'm trying to do what I did 12 years ago that we all partake in, which is give everybody an atmosphere, which is basically the Elite Edge message board all over again.
Oh,
to
yeah.
all communicate the same group. And that's what's working. And it's Comedy Central up in this bitch, just like it was 12, 13, 14 years ago.
Oh, this shit is some of the funniest shit I ever seen, man. And
it's working.
It kills me too. Like the I'm thinking about making a Lifetime movie on the Christian Buckner story.
Dog, don't get me started on this fool, man.
This man went from one extreme to the other. I'm thinking, dude, it's cool.
Game.
It went all bad for Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing I know, I'm seeing
It almost got me wanting to rename the award.
Man. He might like this shit. You might say that, and he might like getting called whatever he gonna get called. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
here we go. For the people that don't, hold on. Let me see if I still got it in this phone so I can show it for the people who ain't seen it too. Hang on. Now hold on 1 second, brother.
The man is special, man. But people was asking me like, why do you think y'all page is so highly rated? I think live videos have a lot to do with our page's ratings.
It does.
It's upside down. It's upside down.
What the fuck?
Oh, God.
It is? Now.
Oh shit! Everybody just waits for the train wreck, man. That's it. Everybody is they want to see the train wreck. They wait and they watch. And this thing that Facebook has created called Live, which we're on right now, of course, it allows us to go into the living rooms and homes of train wreck situations. Like
the Chumlee.
A motherfucker. I got people cutting their cable off and shit. Like I ain't watched my TV in a whole month. I've
only seen one full college football game since the conception of the season because of D-line.
Yeah, I'm there. I'll tell you, I have
better than reality TV.
And you know I'm super Ohio State all day. And I've only seen the Buckeyes play twice this year. I'm definitely going to see them play Saturday.
It made it easy for me when Florida State when Francois went down against Alabama in the season opener. I was like, cool, it's easy now. I ain't got to worry about it because they ain't going to do shit.
Yeah.
So it's D-line.
You know, it's D-line. It's amazing, man. It's amazing. That's all I can say. It's amazing, it's amazing to see all these things. But I say the cool part is people having fun again. Fuck it.
Yep.
They having fun again. It's not, a lot of people mad, y'all. I'm going to tell y'all that shit. Y'all being on this page, people mad, man. People reporting the page every 3 seconds.
Every 3 seconds. They're trying to stop us from people. They're trying to. You got people getting booted off of live videos constantly. The only place that happens that is in D-line. What else? What else has happened? They're doing everything they can to sabotage this.
They're copying the page and all the shit that's done on the page. I mean, it's a lot of stuff, but I take it as a compliment. It's the most talked
about group on Facebook.
Yeah, I take it as a compliment, man, because one thing about here is you get brutal honesty.
Yes, brutally.
If you ain't shit, they just tell you flat out, you ain't shit. Please shut the fuck up. Nobody.
Dog, I don't even look at TV no more. I ain't even look at TV no more. I know, ain't people messaging you talking about, I know I've got them. Like, bro, it makes my day go by faster at work.
All the time.
My wife's cussing me out because I'm on D-line all the time, or my husband's cussing me out because I'm on D-line all the time. Shit. Dog, they gave my secondary account the lethal injection. They didn't even put that bitch in jail.
Hey, I clicked on your shit, and that motherfucker just had a silhouette of the head. I said, hold on, no.
Yeah, it ain't got nothing.
It had the silhouette, but it wasn't nothing. I said, damn, they didn't turn my dude into a silhouette. They ain't even say he'd be back after a while or nothing. They just said, your silhouette down. That shit gone, man. I said, damn.
Gone, man. I'm like, what the fuck did I do? You know, they did a Friday on me, bro. They fired me on my day off. I wasn't even up when this shit happened.
Hey, everybody was messaging me like, Bobby gone. I said, where the fuck he go? I clicked on your page and saw that head. I said, oh, fuck. I ain't never seen them do that to nobody, though. They at least give you a chance to explain yourself. They said they had enough of your shit. Oh, we just lost Bobby, man. He hit back. Bobby got the worst internet in America. In the meantime, let me tell y'all about this shit. Nah. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, man. I appreciate, you know, everything y'all do, you know, for the page and supporting the registry. I hear y'all. I'm going through a lot of messages. I'll probably be up a couple more hours tonight messaging people while I'm doing legs. I hear everything y'all saying, and this is the thing, and that's why I'll be glad when we get the email up and everything like that, and the newsletter and all that, because what my intentions are is to make things fun again and to make things fair again, and that's it, man. The bully community has been robbed of its essence. The bully community has been robbed of its culture. You know, we've been robbed of the true fun shows and, you know, the competition and the talking shit. And it was a circus, but it was a good circus. You know, everybody came out, had a great time. Then we kicked it at the after party, and we built a community and we built a good feel for everything. And I'll tell y'all, that's what we're trying to do again, man. We got behind the scenes, you know, D-Line, we got, you know, even the WBA and a lot of different other people who are going to be in on this thing, you know, John Easterly. We got people in different countries now, a lot of different countries that are ready to set up. And it's going to be a lot of work to get their offices set up and to get everybody set up. But at the end of the day, when it happens, y'all gonna be happy that, you know, you took the time to come check us out, because the environment is gonna be a lot different. You know, I'm a clown, as you know. Bobby is a very big clown, and we're gonna do our best to have fun, make it fair, and send people home smiling. This is not a thing to where you come with your mean mug on. We want to have a good time, and we want to do the best that we can do for everybody. And I guess with that being said, man, I know some of y'all either getting up for work or stayed up too late with my ass, or some of y'all ready to go in there and try to wake your wife up and hope you get lucky, but you're not, because you shouldn't have had your ass on this thing fucking with me. But, you know, God bless y'all. We're going to have some good shit coming on this weekend, too. I'm going to try to set up a couple good interviews, live interviews on top of that, so we can talk some dogs and have some fun. But, man, hey, until next time, God bless all y'all. Love y'all. Keep you, everybody who's in need of anything, keep them in your prayers, man, because trust me, it's a lot of people out there that need prayer. God bless. Peace.